So from nature, we learn two really powerful rules in my estimation. One is nature is always on. Our devices should be always on, should be always gathering information, useful contextual information about our situation, our lives, and our history. Secondly, nature is always doing hybrid sensing and is prepared to do a hybrid response to deal with whatever circumstances, whatever scenario comes up in the next minute, the next second. Now, to emulate that in hardware, we've got the phone doing lots of sensing. We'll have the phone doing a great deal more sensing, and especially when sensors, including the compass even, can use a lot less power. Right now, they're very power hungry. Then that can run all the time. It can run 24/7. There's a lot of phrases that we use to describe this kind of functionality. IBM came up with the phrase pervasive computing many years ago. Context awareness, the semantic web, things that think is a phrase that's being used. I think that came out of MIT originally. The term I'm using is hyper-personalized services because that tends to focus it back on us instead of on the devices. Now, the biological models are not limited to other species. In the human species, the biological model that I think may well be useful for software and hardware architecture, for service delivery architectures, is the brain's default mode network. The default mode network of the brain consists of two linked constellations of areas that are extremely active, that are most active in our minds when we're not on a particular task. I might say typing would be a task. When we're just being there, thinking, being yourself, that's when the default mode network is most active. It does two functions. Number one, it's paying attention to the world around you. It's context or state aware of that moment. And one of the most important things, because we're a social species, one of the most important things of that state, that circumstance around you in the moment, is the intent of other humans. Kind of like that rabbit, because one of the most dangerous possible elements of our physical environment is other people in terms of our evolutionary development. We have to be very aware of the intent of other people. Now, psychologists and people paying attention to neuro everything, the term for that is the theory of mind. So we can have, as a human, we can have a theory of mind, the mental state of other people. As it turns out, some of the other species can have a theory of mind too. They can put themselves in your place. Chimpanzees have an ability to do that to a certain extent. Some of the cetacean species. So that's one area, one of the two areas of function that the default mode network of the brain has. The other one is scenario planning, thinking about what you might do next. Those two functions put together are almost certainly a chunk of our consciousness. And what a useful way to think about developing context-aware services for the phone.